So we're going to be talking about a circle graph, and a circle graph is used to compare something categories out of a whole 100%. So this whole circle represents 100%. So number 13 says, what percent of land on Earth is accounted for by Africa and Europe? So altogether, it's 28% of the land on Earth. Number 14, find the ratio. So we know from last chapter that a ratio compares two things. So we're going to compare the land on Earth on Asia to Antarctica. So there's that Q right there, 2. So Asia has to go first. So Asia is 30%. To Antarctica, which is 9%. And we know from last chapter that we always simplify a ratio, so we can divide both of these by 3, and we get 10 to 3 for number 14. Number 15, if there are 72 million square miles on Earth, find the area of North America. So we look, North America occupies 16% of the land. So North America is 16% of the Earth. So we know that we've talked about this in class before, represents multiplication, that we use multiplication. And we have to find 16% of the Earth is North America. So North America is 16%. And it says the Earth is 72 million. However, we also talked last chapter that we can't multiply with this symbol here. We have to get rid of the symbol. So to get rid of the symbol, we have to move the decimal over twice. So we're going to go ahead and multiply 0.16 by 72 million. And when you do that, you will get 11,520,000 square miles of the Earth is the land occupied by North America. Alrighty, here we have a circle graph showing the percent of books available at the library. So we have different categories of books. So if we take a look at number 16, if there are 20,000 books at the library, how many are children's fiction? So if we look at our circle graph, it tells us that 25% of the books are children's fiction. So we know of means multiply. We know we cannot multiply with a percent symbol, so we're going to make it a decimal. So we're going to multiply 0.25 by the number of books, which they tell us is 20,000. So we want to find what 25% of 20,000 is. So 5,000 of the books are children's books. All right, number 17, find the ratio. So we know from last chapter, a ratio compares two things. So we're going to compare the number of nonfiction to adult fiction books. And then before we say we're done, we have to check. They can both divide. We can divide out of 5. They're divisible by 5. So we get 4 to 7. So this, again, to review from last chapter, means for every 4 nonfiction books, there will be 7 adult fiction books at the library. All right, number 18, what percent of the books are reference or nonfiction? So we look at our pie graph here, our circle graph, 17% plus the nonfiction is 20. You get a total of 37% of the books fit into that category. All right, last one here. If there are 20,000 books at the library, how many books are reference books? All right, we look at our circle graph here, and it tells us that 17% of the books are reference books. So 17%, we're going to go ahead and change that to a decimal. Of the library books, so of means multiply, and the library books, it tells us there's 20,000 books in this library. And if we solve that, it will tell us the books that are reference. So we're going to multiply 0.17 by 20,000. So we get 3,400 books are reference books.